I'd appreciate if you didn't. Everything can be fixed with a quick finger. I don't know anybody called Susan. Welcome back. Or, if you are new, welcome. We're back here again. Oh, my eyebrows are crooked. Don't mind me. I don't know why I'm back here, but it feels good. That's all I can say on that, to be honest. Sorry the lighting's quite bad, but we are using natural light, so we have got a ring light, but we all know how unreliable those can be. For today's video, yes, Miss Bella Hadid, we're going to be doing this look. Well, I found quite a few, but it's all pretty much the same thing, isn't it? Like, it's just very natural makeup, but I love it. And I think now that because we're getting into like winter, because it's cold outside, having some natural makeup is just great, because when our face is freezing cold, last thing we want on our face is just a bucket load of makeup, isn't it? I mean, if you want loads, you do you. Washes off at the end of the day, so sounds great. You do you. I'm very tempted to go back to the trusty old headband, but I don't know how to feel. Or do we go for some clips? Anyone else get really like random notifications from Snapchat? God, like I haven't spoken to a person in like 4 or 5 years and then they've got a new story and you haven't viewed it. I don't care. Sorry, but I don't care that Susan has posted a new Snapchat story. I don't know anybody called Susan. Got a new candle too. Oh, we're back up here, which means I'm back with all my fidgets. I love a Christmas candle. Anyways, let's get on with the video, shall we? If you haven't already, hit subscribe down below, or it's here in the corner for you. Okay, now we will get into the video. I went with the headband, if you couldn't tell. It's just been so long. We're gonna prime. Gonna use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Put it in the T-zone. Like so. And now, because it's a very like natural glowy look, we're gonna put on some sparklies before we go on with the rest of the face. I'm gonna use the Iconic London Prep Set Glow Shiny Spray. Pop this just on the outside. I'm not gonna put it on the middle because my face is partial to a little bit of oil, just a little bit. So we're not gonna add more shine because it's very unnecessary. Give it a light spritz. It's always a shock to the system. Oh, did I get it in my eye? That's not a pleasant feeling. We are going to use a full coverage foundation, but only a little bit of it. Just because I know to create a natural look you should really be using a tinted moisturiser, but I just know that with all like my blemishes and stuff, I'll just end up going in with like heap loads of concealer anyway, so might as well do most of the damage with this. This is the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation in the shade F5. Gonna just put a little bit on. I just need to stop painting my face with it. That's all the problem is. Wonderful. Blend it out with a brush. Oh, there's always fluff on it. Make sure we get the neg. It wouldn't look very natural if we had a line, but for concealer, she has a very bright, like under. Did I even specify which one I'm actually looking at to follow? I'm gonna use this one, just in case. Sorry if I didn't, but they're all pretty much the same. Anyway, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer with a satin finish. Love that. In the shade Fair Warm. Just gonna lift the eye with this. Gonna highlight with this one as well. We'll do the blemishes with this as well. And now, just to make sure the under eyes are really bright, I'm going to use the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. It's the same shade name as the other one, but this one's quite a bit lighter. Just going to pop it in the middle here. See what I mean? Very confusing, but whatever. I won't stay too matte. I'm going to blend with a brush. I'm going to use the Soleil de Tan Chanel to do some cream bronzer. This brush. I'm going to keep this to the back of the face, but then also like above where our cheekbones naturally are, because I don't have a naturally, that didn't come out smoothly, did it? Don't have a very natural lifted face, which is sad, but oh well. You move, say on this side, get the forehead. Just gonna get the ball of the nose, just because on her nose, like the main part is like the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not very like structured here. It's like, okay, now I'm just gonna take fluff on this brush as well. I need to find a way to put these somewhere. Sorry, the angle's changed as well. You slipped and I can't bother to change it. So I'm gonna use this brush into the cream bronzer and I'm gonna put it in the crease of the eye. And also blend it back here. Why not? And up the front of the brow, kind of onto the nose as well, just so it all like blends, you know. Now we're gonna do. Anyway, now we're gonna do some cream blush. Oh, this angle's really doing my head in actually. Sorry. There we go. I'm gonna use some cream blush. This is the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Beam, and just take a little. We don't need a lot. Little goes a long way. Rub it between my fingies, and we're gonna pop it. Ooh, where do we pop it? Pop it here. We're gonna like kind of bring it back with our fingertips. Now we're gonna take our sponge and we're just gonna tap over it, just so it's not so harsh. Make sure there's no creasing under the eyes. And we're gonna take some of the RC Mano colour powder, just popped a smidge in the lid, and we're gonna use our poofy pad, and we're gonna pop some underneath the eye. Gonna set the lid as well, just so we haven't got any creasing there later. Gonna set the T-zone. We are going to do some contour. I doubt she contours, but if I'm going for the Bella Hadid look, I need to contour. So we're gonna start with contouring the nasal cavity. I'm gonna take a little fluffy brush. I like to take an eyeshadow. The road, I'd appreciate if you didn't. Let's start by lifting the underneath. I don't think I'm gonna copy her nose contour because the Hadid nose is just out of this world really, isn't it? I'm gonna do a little line over the top by here. I'm gonna use a like pointy angled this brush into the same colour, and I'm going to use this to draw down the sides. Don't worry, we are gonna blend. We're now going to take whatever's left on the brush and we're gonna put it under the bottom lip, just to help plump, you know, for later. I'm gonna take my sponge. I'm just gonna tap over the lines just to sort of blend them out a bit. I just want to specify it looks a lot more intense on camera than it does in real life. So I'm gonna take my poofy pad into my powder. I'm gonna draw down the edge of the nose and like take it onto the end right a little bit, just to help brighten and shape the nose. Gone down the middle as well. And we're also gonna put it here. Now, I'm just gonna quickly do my eyebrows. This is gonna be difficult because she has very, very light eyebrows, and as we can see, I've got slugs on my forehead. But I'll try my best. This is the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit in the shade 4.5. Now, I'm just going to, hang on, I just realised I haven't contoured my jawline. We're gonna have to backtrack before we do the brows. This brush, same colour. Gonna contour the jawline, finally. It's not a step I can miss when doing a Bella Hadid makeup look. Who do I think I am? Not a sculpted Victoria's Secret model, that's for sure. Now we can proceed with the brows. Oh, I'm concerned about how this is gonna go, but we can see. We can just see how it goes. I'm gonna just shape the front of them. Take my spoolie, oh, get the hair off. Take my spoolie through the front, just to blend out that line. Now what? Now where do I go? I'm gonna have to try and straighten them out a bit, aren't I? And hard to when I've got so much hair. That's not gonna work, is it? Now I look like I've got a really fat brow. Okay, we're gonna move on because it's stressing me out. We're just gonna rub away all the bake. And for highlight, we're gonna go into this Dior palette. It's the Dior Backstage Glow Face palette in 001 Universal. And the fun part is we get to be glowy. I'm going to take a a floofy brush. I'm gonna go into these two colours. I'm gonna pop it here to start, and then bring it down here, and then whatever's left on the brush, take it above the brow. And now we're just gonna take the same brush into the pink. We're gonna add this to where we put our blush, just to add some more like pink to the face, but then also the cheek area then can be nice and glowy. Add some to the chin. Now I'm gonna take a like pointy small brush into the white. I'm gonna add this to the tip of the nose and up here between the brows. Also gonna take the white with a little bit of the gold into the inner corner of the eye. Kind of bring it so it's kind of on the lid, kind of into here as well. Now take this brush, gonna go into the white and the gold, add it to the brow bone, and then above the lip. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little bit of lip balm because my lips feel dry. This is the Lucas Papaw ointment from Lucas Papaw. That's all I can say about it. I like to add loads because it's more like a mask. For the eyes, I'm gonna go into the Tartelette Toasted palette. I'm gonna go into the colour Latte, which is kind of like it's a warm brown, but it's not too warm. Do you know what I mean? It's got some coolness to it. I'm gonna load up the brush. I'm gonna add this in the crease and wing it out back here. Really want to film me putting up my Christmas decorations, but I don't know if that would be entertaining for you. I get excited about those videos, like when somebody's like putting up my decorations, I'm like, oh, that's a click from me. I'm gonna add this to the lower lash line as well and join it up to out here. I really want to emphasize the line back here for now. We will tone it down a little bit afterwards. It's just to make it like so we have the lifted look. I'm also going to add some to the outer third of the eye. I'm going to take it also onto the edge of the nose by here. Now I'm going to take my finger into the colour Sunrise. It's like a nudie sort of colour, but with a bit of like a sheen to it. Fancy. And we're going to pop it over the lid on the inner 2/3 that we didn't put that other colour on. Okay, just to make sure that this here like blends in a bit more so it's not so like obvious that we've put eyeshadow there to lift. I'm gonna take the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer on a little angled brush, just like a little bit. We're gonna just tap it back here so that the line kind of blends in with the bronziness of the face. For our like eyeliner part, I'm gonna use this little brush and I'm gonna go into the James Charles palette and I'm gonna take this one. It's not a very like intense wing, but it's there. So we're going to attempt with this colour. And it's quite long, but it's thin. So wish me luck. I feel like I've messed up already. Way too intense. See? No matter how bad it goes, everything can be fixed with a quick finger. I didn't mean it like that. Oh dear Lord. See, I need to think before I speak. It's a real problem in my day-to-day life. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna just bring the wing up like that. Now, I'm just gonna go into the James Charles palette again. I'm gonna take this brown, it's slightly lighter. I'm gonna use this one on the inner part of the eye, just to add some definition in here. Just taking the brush that I used through the crease, and I'm gonna just use this to lightly diffuse the liner. Just so it's not so in your face, you know what I mean? Okay, now I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I've got the mini one. And I'm gonna just coat my lashes. I like this mascara because it doesn't add like clumpiness. Do you know what I mean? It just adds length. And I love it. I just don't like how it transfers to my bottom lash line within like 5 minutes. But oh well, we'll live with it because we love how it makes the lashes look. The difference mascara makes is just ridiculous, isn't it? I've got to tell you, after doing all those Halloween looks, it is nice to come out of a makeup look and be like, at least you can go out in public like this. Because at the end of all the other ones, like when I'd done like a pumpkin one or a clown, I'd sit at the end and I'd be like, what is going on? What has happened? What's happened in the last few hours? Okay, now we're going to move on to lips. And first of all, I'm going to use this Obsession lip liner in the shade Hookup. I'm going to use this just to lightly overline the bottom lip. We don't want to go too far, but we do need some plump to the lips. I'm going to use just a little bit over the top. Does she have a Cupid's bow? She has a very defined Cupid's bow. Jesus. Okay, we'll define ours then. That didn't go how I wanted it to. In the slightest. Nikki. Oh no. Oh, I've made a mess. Okay, try again. I had a night last night of just watching old Marvel interviews, and then I went down the rabbit hole of watching the Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth videos. Remember when they did the press tour together and it was chaos? I just went down the rabbit hole of watching all of those. It got to about 3 in the morning and I was like, oh, I gotta be up in like 2-3 hours. Not a smart move, Nick, but I mean, come on. It's the 2 sexiest Chris's, isn't it? So, are they the only Chris's that have won Sexiest Man Alive? I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier lip crayon thing in the shade Vibe, just like a pinky colour. I'm gonna add this to the lips. I'm gonna take my sponge into my powder, just a little bit, and I'm gonna add it to the lips. Just because her lips are quite pale. And now to set the face back in with our, that made a weird noise. You good? You go back in with our iconic London Prep Set Glow. Just gonna add this to the outer parts of the face again. Wonderful. And this is the finished makeup look. I love how like glowy it is, especially because now we're getting into the winter time. We're in autumn. We want some like movement in our face, don't we, because of how cold it is outside, especially here in the UK. This is a very nice go-to look. I think I love the cheeks though. I love how glowy my cheeks are. Anyway, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. It would mean the world and so much more. And I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.